Hello again, Gabe here. Uh, so you may remember my old yard next door. This is my new yard. The house next door is torn down, as you saw, or can see anyway, and the land was seized for failure to pay property taxes and was auctioned off by the county, and my wife and I bought it. So now we have all of this. Now this is my lawnmower, kindly given to us by Sarah's dad. It's one of the first generation of battery-powered lawnmowers, and the batteries are dying, and the place is out of business. I sold it, so I can't get new batteries for it. Now, the batteries are still capable of mowing most of our yard next door, but this yard is a bit of a challenge. It takes a couple days to get through it all. It takes a couple days. It takes probably about a week to get through all of this yard, as you're about to see. So that's about what I can get done in one day on one charge of this machine. Sometimes I try it twice a day, but of course it doesn't charge quite as much, so I can't get quite as much done. But as you can see, although I can get it up to speed, as soon as it gets into the grass, it slows down considerably. I've actually mowed this part relatively recently, but as you can see, certainly not capable of mowing the thick grass over there anymore, which is of course the grass that most needs to get mowed at this point. Now normally that's what I do every day. It works out pretty well. I'm not out in the sun long enough to need sunscreen, and perfectly satisfies me as the continuing condition of my lawn. Unfortunately, it doesn't satisfy the city of Minneapolis. I've got another letter from them, which my wife is hiding from me, because they make me mad. But I do know what it contains, which is a request that both lawns, in fact, be mowed and weeded by Tuesday. So this guy here is not going to cut it. Now I do have a push mower, but the thing is, once the grass gets thick and tall like that, the push mower isn't of much use. It lays it down rather than actually cutting it, and gets stuck in the thick spots. The wheels start to slide on the grass. So I guess I'm going to need to borrow a mower from a friend at the very least, just to satisfy the city. But they also want weeding done. I'm tempted to just let them come do the weeding themselves, but see, the problem is that we've planted some stuff that they might not know about, and that they might just mow down. I'm going to show you that. So over here amongst these weeds, which I'm sure they will mow down if they get the chance, somewhere are the red raspberries that my parents gave me last year and that we planted. Not doing a very good job of coming up this year, but they might come up next year if they don't get mown down. Here we have some tomato plants. Now fortunately they have cages around them, so hopefully people from the city will at least notice when their mower starts running over cages. They're less likely to notice these. I mean, they do have stakes, and they do have colored zip ties on the stakes, but they're not exactly sticking up terribly well past the high grass. As you can see, you can kind of see them, but I can see somebody up on a rider mower not noticing them. And we've got some of them are not coming up too well. As you can see, the honeydews aren't doing great. Maybe I don't have to worry about those. On the other hand, the pumpkins are doing great. Well, not that pumpkin, but here we go. Some nice pumpkins coming up there. Pumpkins coming up over here as well. Pumpkins here, and here. Looks like we've got some watermelons coming up here. Not so much over here. We've also got this relatively young tree, not terribly tall. I could see the city just completely missing that and mowing it down. Here we have some rhubarb. Hopefully the city knows what rhubarb is, but it is kind of amongst some tall grass. I can see them just coming through here with their weed whackers and tearing it all up. Over here we've got a bush. We call them affectionately momberries. I don't remember precisely what they are, but they're a relative of currant. They look like a hedge. This is the first year we're going to maybe get some berries off of them. We saw some berries earlier. I'm not sure if they're still around. Maybe the birds ate them. But we were hoping to eventually get some berries off of this. I could see the city just mowing this down as well. After all, it is amongst some tall grass. Kind of looks like it might be weeds. Of course, here we have the garden. I would hope the city is not stupid enough to not know a garden, but again, there's quite a bit of grass in here. I can see them just coming through here with their with their weed whacker and whacking it all down. And right here we've got some raspberries growing up amongst this tall grass here. It's going to be really hard to whack down just the grass and not the raspberries, and I expect that I would try harder than the city. So mainly I'm just making a record of all this, just so that if the city does show up and mow it down, I won't be the only one who knows what I've lost, but you on the internet can also see what the city's done to me. But it looks like I'm going to be working out in the yard a whole lot more today, so I'm going to go put on some sunscreen. Hello again, I'm back with sunscreen. I hate sunscreen. It's so oily. Fortunately, the city doesn't seem to check my lawn too often, or if they did, I'd have to put this on probably, a couple days a week just to go out and mow my own lawn. Even though I'm perfectly satisfied with the length of it. It's also not fun to put sunscreen on when you have a beard like I do, or to in fact work outside for any length of time in the summer. I suppose I could shave my beard off just to please the city. Sure, I've missed a spot. You probably saw what spot it was. Feel free to rage about it in the comments. greasy and oily. So here's my weed whacker. It's electric. I don't use it very often because personally I don't care. But the city cares, and who knows how much they'll fine me. Of course, I could spend quite a bit of time whacking weeds with this weed whacker and still maybe not get the lawn up to snuff. So here's one reason I don't use it. It's two-prong. This is a three-prong cord. As you can see, the three-prong cord doesn't go into the two-prong socket. Here we have another three-prong cord, also doesn't fit. Now these are nice heavy-duty cords, the kind of cords that you want to use if you're mowing in your yard. Let's see here, no way this is going to fit. This is for my safety, by the way. Prevent me from using things that might be useful. Aha! One more to try. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. If I completely deform the thing, it fits. Okay. Ta-da! Green cord to the rescue. Oops. Don't forget to tie it in a knot, or it might just suddenly come undone while I'm halfway across the yard. Go plug this in. All right. It works. So of course another thing I don't have to worry about when I'm only mowing my lawn for 15-20 minutes a day is hydration. As you can see from my forehead, I'm losing quite a bit of water. It's probably completely washing off any of the sunscreen that I put on my forehead, but so hydration, gotta get some water. Got myself some water. back to work. This would be a good time to point out something unique about my yard. When they tore down the house next door, I don't know if you can see it in the video of it, but when they tore down the house next door, they also tried their best to pull up this old fence. Now, this old fence has probably been here since the 20s, 1920s. Although, I don't know that it was ever sunk in concrete, over the course of 80 years, a certain amount of topsoil will build up. And so, by the time of today, 95 years later, the remains of the fence are still buried in about 8 inches of dirt, out of which the backhoe was not able to pull them. So there's all this metal over there that's definitely going to chew up my mower, which is why I don't mow so close to the fence, but might also chew up this weed whacker as well. We'll see. Virginia creeper. I don't like Virginia creeper. On guard.